guys, welcome back to Friday Night Bingo. Everyone's going to be here a little bit late, but we have special guests. We have Azure and Matt, who are working on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Isn't that how cool that? The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is on WikiTree. How cool is that? That is awesome. So everybody get your bingo cards up. This is going to be a wild bingo. I'll just warn you now, the first one will be a bingo trivia. The second one is just a normal regular bingo with about 5 million artists on it. So the bingo is going to be a lot of fun. For those of you that are new, I have posted the link to the bingo card there. And always, whenever you join bingo, at the very, very top of the screen is the link to the project page. And Matt created this project. Let me bring it up for you. You said around the pandemic, right?
Yeah, I actually created it at the same time that I created the Country Music Hall of Fame one. I did it, and then like 10 minutes later, I'm like, well, I should do the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And so for a while, they were just combined as one project. And I had it, and I probably worked on this pretty much myself for about a year. I think Scott was at Fulkerson.
Yeah.
Created a table with like 5 artists and was like, here you go to it.
Oh, Matt, we lost your face. Where'd you go? We've got his voice. This is pretty cool too. I will let everybody know that Matt has actually been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Azure and I are going to do a group trip and go. That's what we should do. A WikiTree bingo group trip to all these places. There you go. We got you back. So just to go through the page a little bit, I want to mention, though, that there's a little table here. So as we go through this page and you look at this page on your own after bingo, if you decide that you want to pick up an artist that doesn't have a profile on WikiTree, just kind of add your name here. It's really helpful. And I'll use Azure as an example. She's working on the band Rush and not necessarily just an individual person out of that band. So it really helps if you kind of put your name there. So there's, not duplication of efforts. But this is great. This is really, really great. It's amazing how many artists are in here that could be in different genres too, and probably different Hall of Fames. We have many different Hall of Fames out there. We have the rhythm and blues, the songwriters, the country. I believe there's a rap coming out. I thought I read as well.
I think so. Yeah.
So there's a lot here. Now you'll notice the NC. Those mean they're not connected. So, for example, you could just pick up Riley Ben King, look at it, and start trying to add profiles to his existing one to try and connect it to the WikiTree World Tree.
Yeah, if you look at it, a lot of the artists that aren't connected are, people of color. Mm-hmm. And I always thought this would be kind of a good thing. Of course, now that Black History Month is over, I thought this would be good for Black History Month, just to get some notables, more recent notables, and work to get them connected. So
well, and then you bring up what I always say during bingo. This is the power of WikiTree, because we go to all the different projects, intermingle. So this one can intermingle with a lot of different projects, and the USBH is a really good one. And even though Black History Month is over, they are really working on their notables all year long. So for those of you that are in the chat and watching, if you do happen to work with the USBH, pick this up. This is a really fun thing to do. I love working on notables. It's a lot of work. They're not fast. I will tell you, you want to make sure that you do quality work for our notables. But once you're done, there's just a sense of satisfaction of getting a really awesome profile for maybe an artist or a band that you particularly like. Isn't that what happened, Azure, with you? You like Rush, and you're like, I'm going for it.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
And I'll tell you, the interesting thing with yours is, let me see if I can bring this up. Let me bring it, come back up. Sorry, not trying to give everybody vertigo here. What I really liked that you did, you created a sub page within the sub project for
Yep.
the band Rush, so you could collect all the information together. So now Rush is on WikiTree. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and I believe there's also a subpage for AC/DC and
Yep.
Lynyrd Skynyrd off the
Yeah.
top of my head. I know that those are on there. And again, hey, that's just a fan being a fan and taking that extra step and putting those profiles together, putting that information together. I think it's fantastic.
See, I love that you said that too, a fan being a fan, because we wouldn't be here with you, Matt, for the country music that we did earlier today if it wasn't for you. You were a fan being a fan. And this is fabulous. Some people might not have thought about doing this, or some people might say, well, I'm a little nervous. I don't know if I want to go into this much work or detail. And you kind of came in here and started it. Nazar came in and kind of beefed it up and put in tables a little bit more. And we have a sub project. And it's great.
Yeah, like I said, it was one project until Azure came along and separated them out, which I just didn't know how to do, which she did, and she did a great job. And she's sort of taken this and picked up the baton and ran with it. I mean, I haven't touched this for a little while now. And so I'm happy to see other people picking it up and running with it. It's fantastic.
I love it.
Yeah,
I think it's fun.
definitely. We want as many people to come help as possible. If you look too at if you go back to the Rush page and you click on Wine Rib 17, the profile for Geddy Lee. So Dave Grohl's mom did a book about rock musicians and their mothers or their ancestry, basically. And that's where some of the information came from, is that book that she wrote. If you click on the little green button there to see more sources. Let's see. Geddy Lee and Mary Weinreb, there's a TV show about it. So, there are sources out there to find. From Cradle to Stage is the book she wrote. It's kind of really neat.
I think it's pretty cool too, because now you're also giving us something else. You're giving us something to go look at, a book to read, but also sources where we can use additional sources and for other profiles as well. So I guess I'm gonna put this out here. We won't answer it just yet, but I'm gonna put this out here because I did it at the end of country music, so I'll do it at the beginning. So everybody get your thinking caps on, and at the end of this bingo, I'm going to ask you, what is the greatest rock band or rock song, excuse me, like ever?
Ever?
Like ever. What is the greatest rock song ever? And I will tell you, in my mind, there are two.
That's really hard.
Yeah, I can't come up with just two, but I'll narrow it down. I'll give you one at the end just because it's my favorite right now.
Okay.
So, and one thing real quick before we get started, just wanted to point out, when I first started this, there were a lot of people on this list that just did not exist, did not have any profiles at all. And there's quite a few now that still need them. But like the very first one I saw was Ray Charles. And I was like, how on earth can we have WikiTree without a profile for Ray Charles? I was like, I am not going to touch that. I'm not going to be the one who does this, because I was terrified. I was like, I'm not going to do that. This is Ray Charles. Come on. He's huge. And yet someone did. Someone jumped in there, created it. I know it's fantastic.
USPH. There you go.
Yeah, they did it finally. And I was just like, thank goodness. And that's just to point out that there's so much work that can be done in this area. And I look forward to seeing a lot of people, pick up and work on a lot of these profiles.
And this is never going to end. It's going to continue because we get new inductees every year. And let me see if I got my information straight. Let me bring it up here for you. To be eligible for a nomination, an individual artist or band must have released its first commercial recording at least 25 years prior to the year of nomination. So there is a whole list of new eligibility coming out, and I can tell you that some of the lists for the next nomination, you're going to see a little bit more of the raps and a little bit more music. I will tell you that Jennifer Lopez is all excited; she's eligible next year. So that will bring you
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She'll be eligible. Beyonce will be coming up here in another year or two. Hard to believe. I mean, it makes us all feel old, but come on.
I know. We're dating ourselves again. Does everybody have their bingo card up? But it is amazing when you start to look at who's eligible. I still am going back to the list of who should have been in. And so in between the bingo games tonight, we're going to show you a short list, Azure, don't laugh, a short list of Rock Hall of Fame snubs. And then you guys can tell us which ones you think should have already been in. Okay, if you're ready for your bingo, everybody have their card up and ready to go. I'm going to bring up the screen. This is going to be the same thing. It's going to be a little bit of trivia with this. We're going to try and go a little bit faster. Before we start bingo, I want to tell the rules because I know I have a few new people in tonight. So to get bingo, horizontal, vertical, diagonal to get bingo. And you must be the first person to type bingo in the chat. So if multiple people have bingo, whoever is the first one that is quick on the draw to type bingo, feel free to go bingo, bingo, bingo in the chat. That's who wins. I do want to caution everybody. If you see somebody has won bingo, do not close down your bingo cards. We have had a lot of people decline their prize so they could keep playing. So keep your cards up until we make sure that the prize has definitely been awarded. So Fleetwood Mac, if you look at your list, and again, we have cheat sheets, or at least I do. Fleetwood Mac. So what song on your bingo card did Fleetwood Mac sing? And you can feel free to help everybody out in the chat and type it if you want. It's not a surprise or a secret.
Yeah, just go your own way.
There we go. I think Joke was the first one last time too for the country. So we've got a music lover here. There we go. Okay. So for Fleetwood Mac, it was Don't Stop. Again, you could put so many in there. It's another band you can put so many in there.
How can you pick?
I love
there's so many songs.
So okay, guys, what's your favorite Queen song?
I have two, I think, that I would put up there. I mean, there's so many, but Someone to Love.
Yeah.
And Killer Queen.
And there's the answer. Killer Queen. Yes. So cool. I like the partnership they did with, I believe, David Bowie. Yeah, Under Pressure.
Yep, Under Pressure.
And
no one said Bohemian Rhapsody. Come on, that's
hold that thought. Hold that thought to the end of the show.
I know someone already said that was their greatest one ever.
And Queen is also, according to Guinness Book of World Records, the longest running fan club in the world. Bruce Springsteen. So what song on your bingo did Bruce sing? This was an easy one. This is probably his most famous one. I don't know. It's Born in the USA.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, our Irish guy got it. Good job.
Right.
Buddy Holly. A lot of trivia of Buddy Holly. I'll give you guys my favorite trivia of Buddy Holly. When he boarded the plane, he was with the Big Bopper. Big Bopper gave his seat over to somebody who became famous in country music. And that would be Waylon Jennings. Or Waylon Jennings, excuse me, gave his seat over to Big Bopper.
Yeah. I've actually been to the actual crash site up in northern Iowa. And it's really kind of a sobering thing, but they've done a nice little presentation there. up at the top of the hill. You have to walk up to the top of this hill where the actual site was. And it was kind of moving. Like I said, I'm kind of a fan, so.
Well, I think it's interesting that they did do something there. And that, and someone guessed that'll be the day. So that was the Temptations. Love the Temptations.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
These guys were really interesting too. They had a lot of changeover, a lot of fights within, but they were kind of straddled rock and roll, blues and rhythm, and Motown in my mind. But they were the pioneers of something called psychedelic soul, and Papa Was Rolling Stone kind of gives you that vibe.
When I was a really little kid, I remember seeing them on TV and thinking, I want to be a Temptation. I just thought they were the coolest with their synchronized dance moves and all that. I was like, that's what I want to be.
My Girl is the one I always remember with them.
Oh, yeah.
And Jackson Browne.
Yeah.
This one might be a little sneaky for you guys, but you've heard this song. And I know this because when I saw it, I was like, I don't know this song. And my husband started humming it. And I go, oh, I know that song. I know the song. I sing it all the time when it comes on classic radio. So Jackson Browne. And here's a little trivia about Jackson Browne. And I learned this from watching the Eagles. I think it's a 2-part series, The History of the Eagles on Amazon. Jackson Browne actually wrote the Eagles' Take It Easy.
Yes,
Glenn Frey added one line, and probably the most famous line in Take It Easy, standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. But that was a Jackson Browne song. So Doctor My Eyes, and if you think about it, I won't even hum it.
I've stood on a corner in Winslow, Arizona.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
I would do that. I would do that.
I would do that too.
I haven't got my chance yet.
Selfies.
There's even a marker there for the thing.
The Temptations was I Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
Okay, and Santana.
Oh man.
Aren't these good? I mean,
I love them all. I love all these guys. I mean, it's crazy.
We have to hurry so I can go listen to some playlists.
I know we'll have to do our own WikiTree bingo Spotify.
Seriously, Hall of Fame Spotify.
And here's a little bit of trivia about Santana that I found interesting. Richie Valens, and we were talking about the Buddy Holly plane crash. Richie Valens was his idol.
Nice.
So Santana is Black Magic Woman. Chuck. Now everybody knows the song that I picked for Chuck.
Chuck Berry.
Johnny Be Good.
Where's it at?
Yep, Johnny Be Good.
He's it, man. I mean, everything comes from Chuck. So, I mean, if you're a Beach Boys fan, pretty much all the early Beach Boys is just Chuck Berry songs, just redone. Absolutely love them.
Well, I think, Carol, do you have the songs on your bingo card or the artist names? Should have songs. But I think that we need to all be best friends with Carol because her coworker is Santana's cousin.
Yes.
What's up, Carol?
Carol, we love you. We do. We're friends. Eric Clapton.
Oh, man. So many good songs.
I know. That was the hard part with this. Eric Clapton was so much more before he was Eric Clapton as well.
Right.
He played with Cream and the Yardbirds.
Love the Yardbirds.
Blind Faith.
A lot of people started out in the Yardbirds and went on to do other things.
Eric Clapton, we picked Lay Down Sally.
That's a good one. This just makes me want to have like a music and genealogy segment that we do like once a week where we just talk about like
so we can
musicians and genealogy and play their songs.
I was trying to think of a theme here that we could have. So I like that, Eowyn. Okay, Ricky Nelson. Yeah. This one was his famous one.
Hello, Mary Lou.
You guys got it. Did you know he was an actor first? He was not a singer first. Well, he might have been, but he was on Ozzy and Harriet.
Yeah, and then he kind of formed this little rock group, and so Ozzy put them on at the end of the show every week, and they'd be playing some new song. And it's kind of unbelievable that nowadays that would never happen.
No.
Obviously. But you sit here and you think something like, Hello, Mary Lou. And that song is just so incredible for even its time. And even now, when you go back and listen to it, it's amazing. And, he's truly one of those people that deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny because some people will throughout these choices you see, some people might say, oh, why are they in or why are they not in?
Ricky Nelson.
I would say that this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is one of the most arguable and subjective things you're going to find in life. Aerosmith. I picked my favorite Aerosmith song, Guilty.
Yeah, you could have done a lot of
it. Matt, you might have trivia. I just love them.
No, I don't really have any trivia on them. You know what? These guys have been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're like, as they said, even at the time when they were marketed as America's Rolling Stones, and they're just their own thing. And well, just a fantastic band. To this day, the fact that they still go out and do it is what's amazing to me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the song we picked is Sweet Emotion, and Kara's One Away.
I'm sorry.
I've had
a couple Irish copies here. I might start singing before too long. Look out.
I live Canada Dry. I don't even have a good excuse.
All it took is to give you guys something to drink. Okay, so we've got Rod Stewart. This is probably a debatable one, but he is a musician.
Oh, yeah.
No, not debatable at all. He's actually, I think he's in twice now with Faces and as a solo artist. You got to remember also how big some of these people were. A lot of folks, if you're younger, you don't realize just how huge Rod Stewart was in the late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was it. He was the guy. And there are people who be like, oh, he had that disco, kind of thing. No, you go back and you listen to early stuff, Maggie May.
Maggie May is one of my favorites.
Ballad of Georgie. I mean, just fantastic stuff. He's just a great, great performer.
Do you know three button hand me down?
We picked Hot Legs for him, and I will tell you that as a child, or very, very young child or very old child, I don't know how much I'm dating myself. He was on Tiger magazine. Do you guys remember?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, a lot of people they hear like, "Do you think I'm sexy?" And they're like, "Oh, come on! How can anybody do a song like that?" That's because he could. He was that big at the time. He could literally say whatever he wanted, and it was huge.
I think you're right. And these guys, they're rock and roll. They are just rock and roll. And the song that I picked for these guys, oddly enough, is their only number one song.
Well, that's funny, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
It's like they
only had one.
Yeah.
Jump.
Yep.
Interesting.
And they also, what's funny about them on their gig contracts? They're the ones that kind of started the crazy, and they did it to kind of be silly. But they would have multiple bowls of M&Ms, but all the brown ones had to be removed.
Yeah. And they did that because that was a way to make sure that someone read the contract. So hey, they knew that if the bowls of brown M&Ms showed up, that no one read the contract and said what they really wanted. So that's why they did it. These guys got a huge start from Gene Simmons of Kiss, was their early benefactor, so to say, and so he made sure that they came out on the road with him, and he helped them get their first album. So just carrying on that tradition. One of my all-time favorites, Van Halen.
I agree. And we won't get into the debate which lead singer do you like, because they're two different. They're two different things, and I think a lot of people discount Sammy Hagar era.
I'm a David guy. But hey,
Yeah.
Teach his own.
Subjective. There you go. Wilson Pickett. We're getting some really great names and variety here.
Wicked Mr. Pickett.
Yep. I hear you, Eowyn. You're singing it.
Can't help myself.
So Wilson Pickett was Mustang Sally.
Better slow your Mustang down.
The Supremes. I don't know. I think this was the most popular one, but I think this is also going to be subjective. So for Supremes, it was Stop in the Name of Love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could pick about 10 different songs for them. They were so huge at the time. Yeah.
James Taylor, Fire and Rain.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome songwriter. Bob Marley.
Yes,
We got a bingo.
Okay, hold on, Luther. Hold on a second. And Luther, you're going to keep your prize, right? Because it's really kind of cool. Ezra, do you have your mug? Let me see. There's mine.
Oh,
yeah. She's got the American Mutt. I've got the All Black Bingo one. But they're T-shirts as well. So, Luther, you've got a couple of choices. Do not close down your card just yet. Let me at least give you the Bob Marley song, Could You Be Loved? So, there we go.
Are you going to do the rest of them like you did earlier?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Are you going to do the rest of them like you did earlier?
Do you guys want me to go through real quick, or you guys want to move on? Because we got a little bit of time. We can do some more trivia, a little bit more. And let me give, though, Luther the information. So, Luther, to get the prize, you're going to email Eowyn, and she's going to hook you up with, I guess, keys to the store.
Wow.
Up to $30.
Wow.
I know. It's pretty exciting.
I know. I mean, this is a WikiTree. Let me tell you guys, this is extremely cool because when we came up with this idea, I was blown away. Every other Friday, WikiTree gives us 4 opportunities for prizes and up to $30. This is pretty cool and amazing. So, congrats to everybody who's won up to now. And Luther, big congrats. Okay, I'm going to go through just real quick, and you guys can help me out. So, Orbison.
Pretty Woman.
He's the man.
Yeah, Pretty Woman. I thought he sung higher, but I think he only does about 3 octaves. The Eagles, the Eagles are kind of like, I get speechless with them as well as Van Halen. I love them. They originally were the backup band for Linda Ronstadt.
Linda Ronstadt, absolutely.
That's
how they got discovered. Someone heard him singing for Linda Ronstadt, and so they said, "Who are those guys?"
And I'm going to tell you guys the song, but you don't need to do it for bingo because we already have a winner. This is just for fun. So, Already Gone was the Eagles. Elton John. This was tough to pick one of my favorites. I did not pick my favorite Elton John song.
What is your favorite Elton John song?
Benny and the Jets, because
that's
the only song you can sing and you don't know the words. Nobody cares.
That's true. I'm a huge Elton John fan, and I would go with Leave On.
Oh, no, wait. I do love Leave On. Yeah.
Yeah.
We picked Rocket Man for this one.
I like Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah.
Yellow Brick Road, yep. Oh, Blondie.
Blondie.
Debbie Harry.
Pretty easy, Heart of Glass. The Beatles. Anybody want to tell me your favorite Beatle?
Oh, man.
What's that song they did? I can't remember.
There was one, right?
Which one?
That one song, you know, da 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 da. I can't remember.
We picked Get Back for them. And they, I believe, unless it's changed, they have the most number ones at 20. And I want to say Mariah Carey is right behind.
I was going to say Mariah Carey or Beyonce is probably pretty close to that by these days, but you know.
And then Lynyrd Skynyrd class, we just lost about a week ago, the last original member of Lynyrd Skynyrd. So all the original band, kind of got chills there. All the original band is now gone.
Great song, Simple Man.
Yeah, I love Simple Man.
Yeah.
If I didn't mention this in the earlier one for the country, but if anybody has watched the PBS special, the Country Music Hall of Fame, there's a gentleman who did a really slow version breakdown of Simple Man that was awesome in there. Allman Brothers, you can't talk about rock, specifically Southern rock, without the Allman Brothers. They are, in my mind, the inventors and the pioneers of Southern rock. And Ramblin' Man.
These guys, I had a friend of mine point out to me many, many years ago, and he's like, "Man, why is this so good?" And he says, "You know what this is? This is jazz. You're listening to jazz. You're listening to improvisation over 12 bars. If you listen to it, that's what these guys were doing. And yet it sounds so put together. It sounds like they wrote it all out. Two drummers, fantastic songwriters, one of the greatest guitar players ever, and then another one who's so good that he gets overlooked in Dickie Betts.
Yeah.
Just a fantastic band. I mean, go and listen to Live at the Fillmore and be blown away if you haven't done that already. I probably listen to it like at least twice a month.
Really? Well, now I'm going to have to listen to it.
I'm a huge Allman Brothers fan. They're so good.
I was like, they even had a special out, I think, a history or historic special. I want to mention too that in the country one, we said go listen to Paul McCartney do Blue Moon of Kentucky. I did.
Good.
Okay, Rolling Stones. Let's move on. The Rolling Stones. Anybody want to guess what their first number one was? No guesses.
Was it Satisfaction?
Yep, it was.
All right.
Yep. Brown Sugar is the one we picked for bingo. Which Allman Brothers was it? Dwayne?
Dwayne
was married.
Dwayne was the no.
Dwayne was the brother died first.
Right, and it was don't make me do this because I'm not going to get it right.
No, but I gotta say this. This is funny. So which one was married to Cher?
Sonny? No.
I think it was Greg Allman, right?
Greg Allman, you're correct. Yes. I just couldn't remember his name.
But I love that Sonny.
Sonny. So I'll just say that my wife's all-time favorite band is the Rolling Stones. She is correct.
And this is a band. This is the Everly Brothers are on both country music and rock and roll.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know. Did I use the same song "Bye Bye Love"?
Different song.
Prince.
Yeah.
Prince.
I mean, this guy. They don't know. There's so many recordings that he's done that they believe after he died, there's about 1,000 in a vault of songs that he wrote. Don't know if they'll be released or if they even are in condition to be released, but he just kept at it. He wrote Shaka Khan's "I Feel For You" and also Sinead O'Connor's "Nothing Compares."
Nothing Compares to You.
Yeah.
He also wrote Manic Monday for the Bangles.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, you could put a greatest hits record of just the songs he wrote for other people, and you'd be blown away by just those songs. So fantastic! I saw him in concert once, and it was wonderful.
I'm jealous. Led Zeppelin, Rock and Roll was the song we chose for them, and Van Morrison.
Love me some Van Morrison. Brown Eyed Girl.
Brown Eyed Girl, and that's the song.
Is it?
So you guys are going great. The Pretenders.
Yep. Chrissy Hynde, love her.
Back on the Chain Gang.
Back on the Chain Gang, yeah.
She's got such a unique voice. You hear it, it's her. Sam Cooke. I love that it's so diverse. So Under the Boardwalk. So we were talking about Hall of Fame. He's pretty interesting. So he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame and the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. And he has a Grammy Lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, well deserved on all those. This guy's fantastic. wrote some of the greatest songs. You know, Change is Gonna Come. I mean, just fantastic.
I forgot about that song. You're right.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix.
Okay, I have to do timeout real quick and just say it's spelled wrong. Take the S off. It's not right.
I know. I'm known for my typos. I will tell you, he's kind of interesting too. Left-handed and can play it, you know, behind his head or upside down. The talent is amazing.
And one thing about him is a lot of people know it, but a lot of people just see the psychedelic stuff that he did. But he is just one of the most fantastic straight blues guitarists that ever existed. If you just listen to just his blues songs, I mean, they stand head and shoulders with everybody else that's ever done it. So he's fantastic and one of the all-time greats.
He really is, and too soon.
Yeah.
Neil Diamond. What back to back? What two completely different artists?
Completely different. Neil's one of the all-time great songwriters.
Yeah.
And a fantastic performer. I mean, for like 10 years straight, he was the number one earning concert performer in the country. I mean, that doesn't happen. He just retired. I think this year or last year he just retired, and that was it for him. And again, this is like my wife's. I don't know. Maybe this is her all-time favorite. I'm pretty sure this might be it for her.
He's a performer. I mean, he is a show performer too. I've seen him. He puts on you. You're not bored. You're all the way into his show from the beginning. We picked Crackling Rose for him. Simon and Garfunkel.
Cecilia.
Yeah,
like Simon and Garfunkel.
We played this record all the time when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Don't you love those records that you kept playing over and over and over again?
Yeah.
So these guys started out, they were Tom and Jerry was how they started out. And then they did a record. They didn't do anything together. Paul Simon went to England, and while he was away, someone came and put some electric guitar on one of their songs, which is Sound of Silence, I believe is what it was.
Yeah.
And when he came back to the United States, it was a huge hit. So they got back together and created Simon and Garfunkel, which we all know now. So,
which is pretty cool. So we talked about subjective, and I'm going to put up a list. And this is a small list. I just went around the web picking up little tidbits, what people thought were snubs. So you guys look at the list and tell me what you think. These are people that are eligible, have been eligible, and are not in the Rock Hall of Fame.
So many. It's crazy.
Yeah, like a lot. I mean,
and I'm sorry, I got a little duplicate between the two middle columns there, I think, but I'm surprised.
I can go nuts on this. I mean, literally the Smiths. I see Joe Cocker right at the top up there. Yeah. I mean, come on. That's the Marvelettes, Motorhead, New York Dolls. I love the New York Dolls. Mary Wells, B-52s.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Peter, Paul, and Mary. Come on, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Paul and Mary.
That's like
Jay Giles Band, Devo.
I know. I'm surprised. And Azure, you said that who's in there?
Benny King is in there, but with the Drifters. But we were saying, like somebody was saying earlier, that he should really be there on his own as well. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
So just so you guys know, if you're a big fan of the rock and roll music and Rock Hall of Fame, you can actually go. They still have the voting open right now. You can go to rockhall.com and vote for the people who are up there right now. You know, people like George Michael and Cyndi Lauper and the Spinners and Warren Zevon. You can go vote for them right now. Maybe they'll get in this year. Who knows?
They might. But I will tell you that, and Azure, you probably have a similar story. One of the ones I thought should have been in a long time ago. This artist kept winning over and over and over again the fan vote, and would not get in until this year. It might have been partly because she had a condition to get in, but Pat Benatar.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah, she should have been in, but she said she would go in with Neil Girardi, her husband, or she won't go in. And they got in this year. I was, let me tell you, that was one of my first votes. When you said go to vote, I was there every day. Vote early, vote often.
That's something my wife and I kind of, we keep up with that, and we make sure that we vote. And, Pat Benatar is so well deserved to be in there. Absolutely.
The two that I was just shocked over, and it might be because I guess this is also your influence. When I was growing up, I had older brothers, so I kind of by osmosis got to know music and rock by them. But Jethro Tull and Bad Company, they should have been in eons ago. I don't even know when they first became eligible. But I can tell you, it was a long time ago because I won't date myself. But if we're doing 25 years.
They had to be around for 25 years. Yeah. And a lot of those guys, like Jethro Tull, was around early. Well, I should say early, but in the 60s, they were around as a band. So come on. They should have been in there.
Yep. Luther, go ahead and close your bingo card 1 and bring up your bingo card 2. That's kind of, we're giving you guys a little bit of a chance to do that. And I've heard a lot of people have told me some creative things. If you have one screen, a lot of people are taking their bingo card and a little tab and making it smaller so they could still see the YouTube. I've heard some people printing them out and going along because we do put the bingo cards up. I try to do it at least a day or two early on the bingo space page. So you guys have gotten really creative with that. Well, Jan and Dean, they've been around forever too.
Yeah.
And did Ozzy get in separately with the band? And they're saying go in. Graham Parsons. Some of these are just really surprising me.
Yeah, Peter Frampton. I mean, come on, he had the greatest live album of all time, and he's not in. And
yeah, Ozzy's in with
Black Sabbath. Yeah, and that was just recent, within the last couple of years.
Can you believe that? And then when you think about all the ones that are coming up next year, and then the next and next, there's so many. And this is why I think sometimes the Rock Hall of Fame gets a little grief, because we're all fans of certain bands, but that doesn't mean everybody, I guess, is. So now I'm going to take your advice, Matt. We're going to go vote and vote early, vote often. Okay, guys, we're ready.
Every day. You can vote every day. Come on.
We're going to do bingo card number 2. This one might take a little bit, so I'm going to go pretty quick through this one. These are going to be just the artists. So if you see the artist name, first one, the Platters, all you have to do is use your little electronic data and go. Okay, so Platters is first on your list for bingo number 2. James Brown.
James Brown.
I mean, he's just a classic.
There's no one else like him. I mean, he invented 2 kinds of music. Come on. You would not even know what funk was if not for James Brown.
The directors.
These guys.
Smooth voice.
Yeah.
ELO. Very interesting band.
Yeah. Took them a while to get inducted as well, and too long as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I wonder if people just didn't understand them. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, I think a lot of these bands they get really popular in a short amount of time, and a lot of people then just sort of sit back and there's kind of an anti thing because of how popular they got. Or, it was sort of seen as like not as cool as something else. And I think ELO was a victim of that.
And Ray Charles, another one that's in multiple Hall of Fames.
He should be in every Hall of Fame that there is. I mean, I'd put him into the Football Hall of Fame if I could, because this guy is about as one of the coolest Americans ever. So he needs to be in everything.
His version, speaking of that, of America the Beautiful is amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
I mean, Georgia on My Mind. And I mean, come on, there's just everything.
Marvin Gaye.
Oh, yeah.
He's classic. He's smooth. He's suave.
Yes.
Little Moody Blues.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will tell you guys, I left off tons of names, and we still have tons of names on the bingo card, so I was surprised. The Kinks.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. One of my favorites. Well-respected man.
B.B. King.
Same with this guy. I saw him probably half a dozen times in concert. He is one of the most fantastic performers ever. If you didn't get a chance, you missed something.
Does he talk a lot during concert? In between? Or does he
not so much in between. He talks while he's doing the song.
Oh wow.
And he would sit here and tell you the story of Lucille and why he wrote this song and that song. And the whole time he's playing the song.
We missed out then on that one.
Yeah. Carly
Simon.
I love Carly Simon.
And she did say, right? He's so vain was Warren Beatty, I think.
She always kind of left it ambiguous.
Miss Tina Turner. Fabulous comeback. Comeback. I mean, she proved to everybody, come back. It's possible.
Yeah, she was a special woman, that's for sure.
That's Domino.
He's one of those guys that did so much early on that you just don't realize how much of a huge influence he had. I'll be quiet here because I know someone else.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Oh, okay. We'll be quiet. Azure, take the floor.
This is one of the ones that a lot of people don't like Rush because they don't understand or whatever. Math rock or prog rock or whatever, but you can't really put them in a.
You are right. I think they are love it or hate it.
They changed so much over the years. They did a lot of different types, and they were out there touring for so long, 40 plus years.
Oh,
yeah, they were snubbed for many years, and that was wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Agreed.
YouTube. You guys find what you're looking for? Oh, there we go. Oh, this is perfect. So, thank you, John. Guys, talk about Irish band on.
Yes, on St. Patrick's Day.
There you go.
Wearing the green. Got my Shamrocks back here. It's all good.
You do.
And I have the same birthday.
I
the
love
band.
Them.
Love them.
Love them.
Yeah.
Up on Cripple Creek.
Oh, one of my favorites. This is another record that played all the time in our house.
And it wasn't Christmas until you heard Nat King Cole in our house. We had to hear the songs.
I remember my dad singing, he'd sing Mother, Emma's for the, and so he would sing that to my mom. I'm just like, it always made me laugh, and I never knew it was him.
Nature Boy is one of my favorites of his.
Yes.
Yeah.
Percy Sledge.
When a
man loves a woman. That's a guy who could have stopped right there and never done another song and been worthy.
Seriously.
Genesis.
Love Genesis.
Is anybody close or getting close to bingo?
I totally forgot we were playing bingo.
Oh, we were playing bingo? I thought we were just talking about bands.
A couple of bands just hanging out talking. And
absolutely love the Go-Go's. They're so fun. I love them.
I love the Go-Go's.
So much good music.
They had a good documentary too. I can't remember if it was Netflix or HBO. They had a really good one recently too, where it explains the band and exactly where you thought happened to them. Is what happened.
We got the beat. Come on.
I know. Yeah. Jefferson
Airplane. Volunteers.
Cheap Trick.
Yes.
Another one of my just I love these guys. I've seen them in concert a couple of times, and they're just so good. If you're of a certain age where, that live album from Budokan is your thing, well, that would be me, and that's Cheap Trick, and I absolutely love them.
It's funny because I will talk about Cheap Trick, and I get a lot of times, are you talking about the older Cheap Trick or the newer Cheap Trick? And I'm like, they're Cheap Trick to me.
It's the same four guys. Come on.
Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
And he's a really good golfer too, by the way. I mean, really good.
Yep.
Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember we got tickets to see them at like the day before, and that's when all the radio stations seemed to empty out, and they didn't sell their tickets up front. Then they would sell them to whoever, I guess Ticketmaster, whoever's next, and we got them. And they do a lot of those pyro, and let me tell you, that pyro is hot.
Yeah.
Photograph, Rock of Ages.
That's right. Pour some sugar on me.
Well, that's a good one. Alice Cooper, Baby. No way. Really?
Yes. Yes. It's true.
Linda Ronstadt.
So, Linda Ronstadt, Dolly Parton, and Emmylou Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Trio.
Beautiful harmony.
I mean, Linda was so huge in the early to mid 70s. I mean, it's hard to just understand just how big she was. You could pick any of the today's current artists, and she was bigger than that. So,
she was.
Yeah.
Huge.
Guns N' Roses.
And so many different genres.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Country, rock. She did the mariachi band music.
Yep, the Spanish, and she even sang some operettas.
Yeah, this is crazy. Talk about well-rounded.
The Jackson 5.
These guys. I remember watching the cartoon when I was a little kid, so I'll be quiet now.
I know, I do too. So I loved it. It was groovy. It was groovy cartoon. The Isley Brothers.
These guys. So good.
Each one of these come up, you can honestly see why they're there. And the Doobie Brothers, of course.
Yeah. Another band that got they got held out for too many years. I mean, they were so good. And nowadays, if you go back, oh, there we go, bingo.
We got to be.
These guys are so good. I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
There we go. So we've got our 2 bingos, and Stephanie, let me write their name down real quick, and then let me show you how to get. Oh, sorry, Stephen. I thought maybe I missed a bingo there for a while. So what you're going to do is you're going to email Eowyn, and she's going to get you all the information you need to pick a prize up to $30. Mugs, shirt. Is there anything else? Mugs or shirt? Is that pretty much it?
There's some hats, and there's tote bags, and other kinds of bags, and
that's pretty cool.
Pennants, if you want to hang a WikiTree pennant behind your desk.
Up on your desk. So, see, you've got a lot of shopping to do, Stephanie. You got a lot of shopping. So, congratulations on bingo. And that's right. Linda Ronstadt did Gilbert and Sullivan.
Pirates and Princess.
Yes. With Kevin Kline, that's correct. Yes.
That's pretty cool. So as we wind down, I want to thank everybody for coming to bingo. I hope you had fun. And next week is the Friday night date night. And then the next week, we're always every 2 weeks, will be bingo again. And I believe we have the Greeters Project and the Adoption Angels coming up. So definitely, if you ever wondered why somebody said hello to you when you joined WikiTree, bingo will explain that. And if you've ever wanted to dig into a mystery of possibly of an adoption or an unknown parent or unknown child, then the Adoption Angels will be here for that too. But before we leave here, what is everybody's answer for what is the greatest rock song ever.
What's yours?
Number 2, but I'll let you guys go first.
I don't really. I can't really. I don't know.
Okay.
What about you guys in chat?
I'm going with Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. I mean, it's practically punk rock if you listen to it. The way that song drives and with the theme that it is just fantastic. Oh, and I love Free Fallin' too, John.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. There's too many.
I know.
All of them.
I will tell you
Okay,
mine too,
that's the
because
correct
all
answer.
you mentioned it. So mine too, it comes down to Bohemian Rhapsody, because I mean, the man kept the song going and just remembered the lyrics all the way through. But that song is like a 12-minute song or something like. But in Stairway to Heaven.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, Stairway to Heaven too.
Those
Stairway's fantastic. Yeah.
And I will tell you, since we were doing country earlier, definitely go up on YouTube or Spotify and listen to Dolly Parton's version of Stairway to Heaven. It'll blow you away. Listen to her version of Shine as well. Another rock song. Listen to her. Very good. But
Art did an awesome job at Stairway to Heaven for the Kennedy Center honors. You gotta have
Heart, yes.
Yes. I mean,
that's fantastic.
Hart was on one of the bingo lists too, by the way. So they're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I hear the sisters have made up, and I think they're going to bring
friends again.
So that'll be good. Okay, guys.
Friends again. So before we go, I just want to say, everybody, really to bring it back to the genealogy side of it. This is a project that's been sitting out here for a couple of years that I've worked on it. Many other people have. And literally hop in here, grab a profile. You see all these people that aren't connected, get them connected, go in there and source some things up and do some work on them. Have some fun with it. I want to say, thanks to all of you for showing up. This has been a blast. I've had a great time. And I just sit here and think back. Like I said, I worked on this for a year all by myself. And I just think that there's other people that are doing this and hopping on these artists again. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it.
You did a great job, and you got this started. So thank you to you, and thanks for joining us today, because your rock and country knowledge has been awesome. It's been really enjoyable. We
really fun.
It again, if you're going to adopt, for example, might as well adopt a whole band.
Yeah.
Adopt the whole band and create a subpage just like Azure did.
Some of the books that are written about the whole band, and so you can just use that same source for all of the members, basically. Yeah. And there's documentaries out there. You can use that as a source if they talk about the genealogy of the person, so of the members.
I know. Out on this weekend, I'm already got the documentaries I'm gonna re-see. I want to see the Eagles. I want to see the Go-Go's back again. I'm gonna probably go see Elton John's movie and Queen's movie again. It's you guys have got us in the spirit, but like you said, it's all genealogy and it's all sources. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
So happy St. Patrick's Day. Thanks everybody for joining us. I think this was a blast. This was fun. And we will see you in 2 weeks. But don't forget, Friday night, date night, next Friday, brush your teeth, comb your hair.
Bye.